unto sin, but yield yourselves unto God, as those that are alive from the dead, and your members as instruments of righteousness unto God. What did I just say? You have to make a choice. This says, don't yield your members as instruments of unrighteousness unto sin, but yield yourselves unto God. Don't yield to this, yield to this. If you do right in your life, you yield to it. You say, okay, this is the way I'm going. If you do wrong in life, you yield to it. You say, okay, this is the way I'm going. And the devil all along will tell you, you're not strong enough to do this. You don't have enough power to do this. Other people can do this. You can't do this. We were talking this morning about, I'm not going to use a name, but someone was drinking a long time ago and came to Rosie and said, I think I have a drinking problem. Can you pray for me? Person not saved. So Rosie said, fine, I'll pray for you. Prayed for her. Next time she went back and took a drink, she got sick. Last time she ever took a drink. Rosie used to smoke. She went up, got prayed for, went through deliverance. Never had a problem.
Walked out and never wanted it again.
Walked out from that point, never wanted it again. See, the power of God is there. The power of God is real. You have to yield yourself one way or another. That doesn't mean that the desires aren't real and the flesh isn't real. That's all real. But what he's saying is, don't give in to it. Just because you feel it doesn't mean you have to give in to it. Just because you have bad emotions doesn't mean you have to give in to them. You know, I've told you before, my big battle is driving. I'm getting better.
Traffic.
Huh? I'm driving in
Traffic.
traffic. Yeah, sorry, not driving. I can drive. I've almost driven asleep. I actually have driven asleep before. I've done everything driving. You know, I always tell people just for fun. You know, way back when I was young, I've eaten while I've driven. And if you're young and just starting out, don't try this at home. But you know, just necessity caused me to have to do this. I was in a hurry, and I've changed clothes, hung a suit up while driving with the crease in the pants, hung it up perfectly. And put it on the hanger, you know, in the back of the car while driving. Nobody around me at night on the interstate, you know, really careful doing it. And I wouldn't do it again, but I had to do it then if I was in a hurry. And so driving is not a problem for me. Driving in traffic is a challenge sometimes because all the crazy drivers, you know, they stop for no reason. They start for no reason. They pull out in front of you. They just... no rhyme or reason. And then we have stoplights. But I'm working in my life on very hard on not letting the aggravation rule in my life. Not yielding myself to that. It's a challenge. I will tell you, it is an absolute challenge for me. There's times I just want to go, get out of my way. Move. Sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't.
Somebody complains about it and says, yeah, they just waited till Jerry gets on the road. It's a conspiracy.
Yeah, that's what I tell her. It's a conspiracy. There's somebody downtown somewhere
Jerry's coming.
that has cameras, and they spot my car, and they say, there's the car right there. Every red light is going to catch him. I'm going to flip the switch for every red light to catch him. And sometimes I'll count them coming home from Sam's to the house. I think there's, I don't know, 15 red lights. 13 of them will get me. 2 I'll make it through. And it's like, and I'm pulling my hair out by the time I hit number 15. And once I hit, you know, from Air Harbor on, man, it is wide open. Just wow! And then I get up near the fire station and think, you better slow down. The policeman loves a firehouse. So that's a great challenge in my life. I'm getting it. Slowly, but I'm getting it. See, everybody has their challenges. Well, you think, well, that's just small. Not in my head, it's not. In my head, it's a challenge. It's still the same challenge. What got me here? I was saying, oh, neither yield your members as instruments of unrighteousness unto sin. The aggravation is unrighteousness. Whatever it is, you yield yourself to it. Or you yield yourself to God. You go toward God or you go toward sin. It's that easy. But what is all of this is trying to say what? Verse 14. For sin shall not have dominion over you. But you are not under the law, but under grace. For you are not under the law, but under grace. Sin shall not have dominion over you. Sin has no more dominion. Death has no more dominion. This morning is a time of no more. You have to decide, where do I need to draw the line of no more in my life? You've got to look and got to say, right here, no more. I'm not going that way. No more. It stops here, it stops now, it stops today. Because if we don't make the declaration in our own minds and to God of no more, we'll just keep waffling back and forth over both sides of that fence. Because He makes it very clear. Jesus died that you can live. He lives this life. He died. No more death, no more dominion. Death has no dominion over Him anymore. It doesn't control Him. Now, you can live the same life. The life of active, powerful, and strong. But you have to decide. Death has no more dominion over me. Sin has no more dominion over me. Now let's bring it down some more. This thing in my life, no more. I'm not doing this. Whatever it takes me. I was telling somebody the other day, when I work on something in my life, I work on it, I work on it, I work on it till I get over it, till I get the victory over it, and then I keep on working. I don't stop when I just cross the line. I'm the kind of guy, if you're running a race, I don't stop at the finish line. At the finish line, I'm sprinting full out. It's going to take me another quarter mile to slow down. You know, because I just want to make sure I won the race. I want to make sure the finish line's behind me. You know, that I beat everybody else beat that thing behind me. I'm just going to keep on fighting just like I'm in the battle. Anyhow, I've won it. I keep right on fighting. When I know it's well behind me, then I stop the fight. Why do I do that? Because I don't want that thing to have any more power over my life. No more power at all. We have to cut those things off. Your sin has no reign over you. I threw a couple more scriptures down. Some no more scriptures. Just some things that you can have no more. Galatians 4:7. Wherefore, thou art no more a servant, but a son. And of a son, then an heir of God through Christ. What's the devil going to tell you? You're nothing. You're nothing. God's forgotten about you, or you're not like everybody else, or you're not like him, or you're not like her, or you're not like that person. You're just a little you from Ohio or North Carolina. You're just a little farm boy. You're nothing. Little bitty old farm boy. Well, okay, big farm boys. They're growing big on the farm. You guys aren't even from Texas. But he says, wherefore, thou art no more a servant. You're not the little guy anymore, but a son. You're a son of God. How much bigger does it get? When the devil tells you, you're not this. No, I'm no more a servant. I'm no more a little guy. Now I'm a son and an heir. Doesn't get any bigger than that. Ephesians 2:19. Now, therefore, you are no more strangers and foreigners, but fellow citizens with the saints and of the household of God. I'm born in. I'm no more a stranger. Me and God aren't separate. I'm not a stranger. I'm not a foreigner. You are no more this. You are no more that. You are no more a servant. You are no more a stranger and a foreigner, but fellow citizens with the saints and of the household of God. I'm an heir and I'm of the household. This is mine. Everything the Bible has, everything God has, is mine. I don't have to serve sin anymore. Now I can serve God, active, powerful, and strong life. If that's what you want, all it takes is no more. Deciding, no more of that stuff in my life. I'm not putting up with it. No more feeling sorry for myself. No more being depressed. No more worrying about how's this going to work out. We went from $475,000 in debt a few years ago. $475,000. Say that a few times.
Almost $500,000.
Huh?
Almost $500,000.
Almost $500,000 in debt. That's a big number. Trust me, I watched that number. First time I wrote it down, I got everything on paper. My eyes got about this big. So, geez. that's a big number. And I probably came downstairs and told Rosie, $475,000 in debt. Oh my goodness. But I knew God was on the scene because I'm in the household of faith. I'm an heir and I'm in the household of God. And He said, I'm going to take care of this. Here was my vision. Here's what He spoke to me. I said, God, well, 475 grand is not too big for you, then it's not too big for me. And I didn't know how we got there. But I never felt sorry for myself. I never got depressed when things looked bad. I never backed away. I just kept on walking and kept on walking and kept on walking and kept on walking. And I promise you, I tracked it every step of the way. I have a piece of paper at my house on my computer that every month it's tracked. I can tell you if it went up or if it went down every single month. I was on top of it. I knew the direction every month. But I kept walking and kept walking. Because I'm an heir. I'm not a stranger. I'm not a servant. I'm not a foreigner. I'm an heir and of the household of faith. Ephesians 4:14. That we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro, and carried about with every wind of doctrine, by the sleight of men and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to be deceived. We are no more children. Shall we say that again? That we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro. In other words, time to grow up. Time to grow up. Put away childish things. Let's stop being tossed around every time something goes bad. Oh, it's bad. Every time something goes good. Oh, it's good now. Oh, it's bad. Oh, it's good. Oh, it's bad. Oh, it's good. Because when you go, it's bad, it's good, it's bad, it's good, I promise you the devil's going to put it in your place where it's bad, it's bad, it's bad, it's bad, it's bad, it's bad, it's bad. And then you're going to get one little good, but then it's going to be bad 12 more times. And what's he trying to tell you? You just soon give up. It's always going to be bad. If you grow up, it doesn't matter. All you see is the horizon. You don't see that there's no rain. You only see there's a cloud up there. Go up that mountain and tell me what you see. When you walk with God, that's what you do. You walk up that mountain and find out what you can see. You won't sit down there and say, oh man, there's no rain. Jeez. What happened to the rain? There's no rain. God must not love us. There's no rain. No, let's walk up the mountain. Look for that little cloud. There's a cloud somewhere. Just a matter of finding it. There's rain coming. It's just a matter of where it's coming from. But as a child, you can't do that. All you'll do is be tossed around. Hebrews 8:12. Got two more verses. For I will be merciful to their unrighteousness, and their sins and their iniquities will I remember no more. There's a lot of no mores in the Bible. Their sin and their iniquities will I remember no more. Who is the only one that remembers your sin? I'm sorry, the only two.
You and the devil.
You and the devil. You're trying to forget, but the devil will make sure you never do. God doesn't remember. He throws it as far away from him as the east is from the west. And I've always asked, all right, Sam, you're a smart guy. High school graduate? Okay, homeschool graduate? Homeschool, high school graduate? How far is the east from the west? Far, exactly. You can't measure it. That's how far it is. That's how far he throws sin away from us, from him. He doesn't remember it. It's as far away from as the east is from the west. He remembers it no more. Your sin and your iniquity will I remember no more. Why do we continue to do it? Why do we continue to remember it? Lots of no mores. Last one. This one I like. Revelation 21:4. And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. That's where we're going. That's where God's getting you to. At some point in time, the new heaven, the new earth, God shall wipe away all their tears. There shall be no more death, sorrow, crying, no more pain, for the former things are passed away. No more. In God's vision, God's plan for life, it is a life of no more. No more. We have to get to where